I decided to do this to send it to everyone. Peach's family, our friend groups, his family as well as mine. I sent it to go out at 1:25 p.m. This would be the halfway point of the dinner, and people would be dropping off gifts early for us, and etc. I gathered the black hole of stress forming in me and headed to the restaurant when it was time. My mother and her husband were already there. My mother hugged me, and all I could do was stand there. To feel her hands on me almost felt like she was personally violating my spirit. I did a quick tap hug so she wouldn't get suspicious, and we headed inside. Guests started flowing in, and everyone was surprisingly on time. Besides my grandparents, but they moved slow, so I didn't blame them. Once everyone was gathered, Alex went on this whole spiel of how he was happy everyone could come, and that he was excited for his family for the next dinner. Was supposed to be November 20th. He mentioned how I was the love of his life, and how he was so happy our families would mingle and we could be one. I wanted to ask him how dare he say that sh*t, but nothing but fake smiles and nods from me. Peach was basically looking like a clueless dog and smiling right along and clapping for us. To see this happen in real life is truly mind-boggling. The lengths people will go to have their cake and eat it too. I could barely eat as the stress was getting to me so badly. At the time I set for the messages, people's phones started buzzing and Alex's and Peach's phone were blowing up. I would like to admit that for once a genuine smile crept on my face. It was like watching an entire kingdom crumble and fall. The horrified faces of Peach and Alex when they looked at me was golden. It's the one highlight I will hold on to from this emotional day. My aunt went ballistic. She started calling my mom a cruel, heartless B-word over and over. My mother hurriedly checked her phone and saw I sent her the screenshots. She started screaming and becoming irate, saying I was really trying to ruin her life again. As some you suggested, she still apparently is upset about being caught having an affair and being shunned. My grandparents' reaction hurt the most because they started screaming at my mother. My grandmother was trying, with a few of our other guests, to hold my aunt back as she started screaming every explicative she could. My grandfather was screaming at my mother that he didn't raise a WH. At this point everyone is in screaming and crying hysterics. My other bridesmaids were cussing Peach out and calling her a S**lt. I hate to admit again I took joy in that. My grandfather went on to screaming at Alex with some things I can't say here because he was very explicit. I just started laughing and sobbing. I had so much emotions that I genuinely think my body didn't know what to do, so it did everything. The tears just kept coming. My cousin escorted me outside as fast as she could with Alex chasing us down. He kept screaming my name and begging to talk. Like most you suggested, he wanted to talk to explain his side. I ignored him, and my cousin was pushing him away from her car so she could get in and drive off. She took me to my aunt's house and told me to stay there and not answer the door for anyone. I kind of felt like a kid being left at home alone, lol. I didn't and just sat on the floor. That's when I just started bawling. All the emotions I've kept pent up for a whole week just finally came up.